Welcome to my Town Hall Level 3 farming guide. This is Intergrid. I'm going to be discussing various strategies and tips on farming, my army composition as well. So I'm going to start with that. For my army composition, I use entirely barbarians. Just completely barbarians. And the reason for that is they're cheap and they train fast. So you can continuously keep raiding. Another thing I like to do is always have my barracks full of barbarians training. So while I'm out raiding, these guys will be training. So then when I come back, I'll have a full or near full army. Alright, and shields. A lot of players like to keep their shields. I would, if you haven't broken your shield yet from your original, for Town Hall Level 1, which is when you get a 3-day shield, then I would definitely break that. There's no reason to keep that. And if you have a shield, like a 12 or 16-hour shield, depending on when your base was cleared, you do not want to keep that. There's an exception to that. If you're just about to go to bed or something and you can't raid, and there's not very much, and you're just like 5 minutes or so, you're not really going. You may find one person to raid, but I like to have like this consecutive raiding where I just go one after another, and so if you can't do that, then I would actually keep that shield overnight just to keep your resources safe. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I do this here. So my trophies are at 718. They do not need to be higher than this. Bronze League level 1 is about where I would stay. Any higher and you'll start getting players who are much more powerful than you. And I am a little bit high. Actually, 600 trophies is usually what I like to be at for Town Level 3. But I am a little high on that because I've been staying in Town Level 3 for a while. So, and I'm going to go ahead and start through. Oh, one more thing before that. So the Goblin Trails, you can go through here and do some of these. This is really your own thing here. There's no need for a guide. Maybe I'll make a guide for some of these way down here. Some of these are particularly tricky, but up here you can really figure this out by yourself. This is actually this is a good place to learn how to fight defenses and what to expect and stuff. So, you know, I just used barbarians on all of these. Really, they're pretty simple. But I'm gonna go ahead and find a match now. So okay. I like to search for 10,000 of each resource. This guy does not have quite enough. You also notice his walls are pretty high level, and his mortar is up. I like to avoid mortars if I can. Now this is an interesting base. You'll notice that he does have 25,000 resources. However, that wall is level 4, and that is a town level 4 advancing to town level 5. Most of the resources are in this storage. It's full. However, there is some resources in this. There's about 10,000 resources in there. And just for good practice, I'm going to show you what I like to do. If I just see a full collector like this, I'll just do this. I'll let those guys clear some of those other collectors. There's not much in them. But and I got 8,000 gold and 5,000 elixir right there. I lost 12 trophies, and that's okay because I was a little high on trophies. So, you know, and that wasn't very expensive. That was actually relatively cheap, and I definitely made up for what I lost in both trophies and with troops. Well, these guys are training. I want to go out with at least. I like to have a full army before going out in case I come across a particular resource-heavy unit person. But I will go out with 60 just to decrease the length of this video. I do want to talk about one thing. I talked about this in my Town Level 2 video as well. See this outlining border right here? All this right here? You can deploy your units on that. So if some player has pinned up their base, you know, where they have walls and stuff, and they have their town hall over here, and they just have all this stuff right here, you can just completely ignore the walls and drop your units along this line. You can drop your units in there. So don't be fooled by that. You can definitely defeat them. It's actually fairly easy to defeat bases like that. And another thing is don't do that yourself. So, you know, just kind of put 2 and 2 together there. So I'm going to go ahead and start searching for a base to fight now. Now, again, not enough resources. Ooh, okay, so now there's 15,000 gold here. This is actually a good base to fight. All the defenses are grouped. So what I'm going to do actually is drop a barbarian here. A couple barbarians, and I'm going to let do most of the swarming over here. Just occasionally dropping a unit or two. I'm going to actually, it looks like I can get barbarians to destroy that mortar. Try to always destroy that mortar as soon as possible. I'm going to go ahead and drop the clan castle units. Oh, I have a hog rider in there. Interesting. Okay, so that's pretty much going to automatically win that battle for me right there. Even if I didn't have that hog rider, though, you could see that I was going to win. I had direct access to that guy's mortar, and I had pretty much distracted the majority of the way anyway. Those are level 5 archers, by the way. And you don't need hog riders to beat this kind of thing. In fact, most players won't donate hog riders since they cost Dark Elixir, which is a very rare resource. You'll notice how these hogs just jump right over the walls. And you also, yeah, that's a pretty much a clear right there. Alright, and that's pretty much how to raid. Like I said in my last video, I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to make a war guide video. But in clan wars, I would just use the same composition I use here, just a complete barbarian army, and just follow the things there. And so that's pretty much it for Town Hall Level 3 Farming Guide.